This episode of Horror Movie Talk is brought to you by Bag Christmas Get-Togethers. Fuck, I wish I just stayed home and slept in. Bag Christmas Get-Togethers. The literal worst. Also brought to you by Manscaped.com. If you enter HMT at checkout, when you go to Manscaped.com and put a bunch of stuff in your cart, you'll get 20% off your whole order and free shipping. So make sure your wife has something nice to unpack this Christmas with Manscaped.com.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
Just take a stroll through the scraggly woods.
He had no face!
Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk. Your panel of expert hosts each week are Dr. Bryce Hanson, who holds a PhD in spookology, and of course me, Professor David Day, the foremost expert in scare no-nos. If you guys would like to check out our website, horrormovietalk.com, that'll help us out a whole lot because you have access to all of our social media from there. By the way, if you want to join our Horror Movie Talk Facebook group, it's bumping with lots of nice people and we keep it all trimmed. There's not a bunch of fucking annoying ads and shit. And if there is, you report that shit because we kick those fuckers out of there. So make sure to follow the show because we post new episodes every single Wednesday. If you would like to call us and leave us a voicemail, you can do so by calling our voicemail line at 682-253-4468. We have a fucking spectacular show today. Or, you know, if, as my mom would say, David, don't oversell it. Today we'll be talking.
Did you get that clip? You got to get that drop.
I guess I do, don't I? She was
David, don't oversell it.
I was like, oh, sorry, Mom. The people want to know that the show's going to be
so great.
good.
It's like we try to hype up the episode at the beginning of the episode. It's like,
She's like,
you really want to promise something you can't deliver?
it's like, David, I know what you're like, though. Okay. Thanks, Mom.
And I love the description of the podcast. It's like it's a David show.
It's a David show. You know David does it. Okay. I really want to get my dad on the show because you can't imagine the levels of apathy and like just like he wouldn't pay any attention to our conversation. He'd be like, are we done yet? Like, you'd just be asking that a lot. Are we there yet? Anyway, today we will be talking about Krampus from 2015. There's a remarkable amount of Krampus movies out there, by the way. If you're not familiar.
Yeah, this opened the floodgate.
Woo! Lots of them. We'll start out by giving a brief review and score for the movie. We score on a scale of 1 to 10. You know how 1 to 10 works. And after we give our score, we'll get into spoilers and take a deeper dive into what we liked and hated about the film. And later in this episode, Bryce, we'll be doing a new game.
Oh, boy.
Probably the only time we'll be doing this game, which is unfortunate because it's pretty good. It's called Christmas Wish List by Country Living.
I'm intrigued. Can't wait to play that game?
Question mark?
Okay.
So as I said, we watched Krampus because it's one of the biggest blockbuster releases in recent memory that is Christmas themed. And you know what? For a PG-13 movie, it wraps us a nice little present. So without any further ado, let's get into the trailer.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the kids jingle bells.
Merry Christmas!
Looks like Martha Stewart threw up in here.
This is delicious, honey.
It's a little dry.
Well, mine's delicious.
Mine's dry.
Do you want to trade?
It's the
It's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
those holiday greetings and gifts.
How we were going to survive Christmas with 12 people stuck in a house with no heat and no electricity.
Or food.
There's plenty of leftovers, Howard.
Beer it is.
It's the weirdest thing. There's no cars, no people.
How long can this keep up?
We heard something on the roof.
The hell's this?
Saint Nicholas is not coming this year. Instead, a much darker, ancient spirit.
Those are hooves. Elk or a goat?
What kind of goat walks on its hind legs?
His name is Krampus. He and his helpers did not come to give, but to take.
Everybody, hold on to each other.
He is the shadow of Saint Nicholas.
It's Christmas. Nothing bad's gonna happen on Christmas.
Man, Jack in the Boxes are like the original jump scare. They're like the origin of jump scares.
Dude. How has a horror movie not been made about Jack in the Box?
Are you sure there hasn't?
I'm not sure. I guess this one would pretty much qualify.
Yeah, kind of, right? Man, if there was ever a Jack in the Box themed horror movie, this one is it.
Should be a spinoff.
Yeah. Call it Jack. Oh, wait, no. Krampus is the story of Max, a young boy who still believes in Santa, and his family who are visited by some bummer relatives. As the relatives whittle on Max's last nerve, he loses the Christmas spirit, which is the straw that breaks this town's back in terms of being on Krampus's good side. Or maybe a better way to explain it is to say that Max's village loses their Krampus protection plan when he loses faith in Christmas. Krampus comes, bringing a slew of helpers and a devastating blizzard that seems to gut the entire town. And as Max and his family fight to survive, we learn the importance of family and keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. My review for Krampus goes a little something like this. Director Michael Dougherty, who brought us holiday-themed cult classic Trick or Treat, has deigned to bestow this holiday-themed treat upon us for Christmas. Krampus is kind of like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, if it included the fictional anti-Santa myth, Krampus. It's based around a, quote, perfect family and their super trashy relatives who show up and turn everything wrong. If that isn't enough for you, there's also a Jack in the Box that resembles a massive worm that's capable of eating people, and a Krampus that looks like Satan and eats whole villages raw. While this is not the most impressive movie I've seen, it's damn solid and very full of Christmas feels. Mostly very full of Christmas feels. It's got lots of fun characters and enough creepy imagery and tension to keep you on your toes while sipping on some nog. I can remember watching this in theaters and being somewhat surprised at how well it held my attention back then, this is a 2015 movie, by the way, but on a second viewing, I did lose interest around the 3/4 mark. It does a decent job of not being too long and is a great movie to watch with kids who can handle really scary imagery because it's not terribly violent. Overall, if you are in need of a Christmas horror movie, I would say this and Gremlins are the best choices when you have to keep your family entertained. What do you think about Krampus, Bryce?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really well made.
It's got a lot of budget.
Yeah, it's got a lot of budget, real quality production value.
Yeah.
terms of like the character design, and the sound design is amazing on
right.
it. Like that really brings it to another level. And it goes kind of for like the horror comedy vibe, but much more heavily relying on the horror than the comedy.
Yeah.
The comedy is more like situational a little bit, and it's not, some of the stuff doesn't land, or some of the stuff is a little too easy.
Yeah.
But I think it works really well. And I think any like list of Christmas horror movies, this should be in like the top 3.
Yes, this plants itself very squarely in a Christmas horror movie.
Right.
This is the Christmas horror movie.
Right. I mean, even like Gremlins, like it's not
kind of secondary.
It's not really an important fact that it's during Christmas.
Right.
Like even like Better Watch Out, it's not, you could have it not during Christmas and it would have been fine too.
Yeah, it would have worked pretty well.
But this one will not work unless it's
Christmas.
Like the right before Christmas.
Right.
And same with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Right. Which anytime we do any Christmas episode, we must mention Silent Night, Deadly Night.
And Magnus on our Facebook group, that fucker, said he did not like
that Swedish fish.
Well, I like Swedish fish though.
Yeah, but
rotten Swedish fish.
Yeah,
like Swedish fish. If it was strum, what's it called?
If it was fish flavored instead of delicious flavored,
right? He came on our Facebook group and had the audacity,
the nerve,
to say it wasn't a good movie
because it was
too slow.
How dare he say that about Silent Night, Deadly Night?
He has been asking us to review Rats for at least half a year.
And he made us review Bye Bye Man before that.
Right.
Which we did 2 episodes on. What an ungrateful Swede.
What do you mean we did 2 episodes?
You did your episode and I did mine.
That's right. I forgot about that. So he had us watch Rats, which is literally 70% of that, conservatively, is slow walking.
Good point. That's a good point.
It's like not even reactions. Just like, I'm going to slowly walk towards this door.
It's a damn shame. Magnus, you have a lot explaining to do, I'd say.
I think we need to review Silent Night, Deadly Night again.
I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, so my score for Krampus is 6 out of 10. It's the second viewing thing hurts it a little bit. On first viewing, I probably would have said something about a 7. But, it's a little bit better than average. And, really it's just a hardcore Christmas horror movie. Where do you land with it?
I think it's a lot better than a 6. I mean, it's one of those where I could see a justification for giving it a 10.
Whoa! I guess
it hits the mark almost exactly on the bullseye for what it was going for.
Right.
Like with the horror elements. But for me, it doesn't land as well. Mm-hmm. And I can't say... See, this is the other thing why I'd give it a 10, because I can't say what I would change. Normally, I would say, like, this bothers me. There's nothing about this film that bothered me.
Well, a 10 has to really beyond wow you, I think.
Right.
Very nice.
I've got lots of mouse sounds. But yeah, it doesn't transcend anything. I'd say it's a debate with me between 7 and 8.
Yeah, that's a fair score, I think.
I'd say an 8. I think it deserves an 8 just because it really is a high quality movie.
I'm glad you appreciated this.
A lot of effort is put into it, obviously.
Yeah.
Really good story. It's engaging. And it's really enjoyable throughout. I mean, Erin was watching it. I mean, she was watching The Crown.
Top tier talent. Top tier talent in this as well.
The cast is fantastic.
Yeah.
The cast is perfect.
This has got Toni Collette.
Right.
Toni motherfucking Collette.
And,
Adam Scott.
Erin was watching The Crown on her laptop while I was watching this, but she would poke her head up and watch the screen without the sound because I was listening on my headphones, and she would laugh out loud at some of the visuals because it's pretty. The elves and like the little Christmas creatures are pretty hilarious.
Yeah, the gingerbread men are great.
Right.
Yeah, it's and then but man, in terms of shockingly scary imagery, that fucking Jack in the Box is goddamn horrifying.
Right.
Just the visual of that monster almost puts it to an R for me. I'm like, I can't imagine a kid who wouldn't shit his bed for weeks after watching this.
This is definitely like, it's a PG-13. Like you would hold off showing your kids until they're pretty close to 13.
Right. There are PG-13 movies that are so tame, but they make it to PG-13 just because of language or sexual suggestivity or something like that. But this one accomplishes PG-13 almost entirely on the merit of the scares or at least the scary imagery. It's not a terribly scary movie. I'll tell you one thing you touched on that definitely helps this movie in terms of being scary is definitely the sound design. If you have a decent sound system hooked up to your TV, make sure you turn it on for this movie because it is ominous and deep in terms of the sound. So, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. So, with that, if you would like to support Horror Movie Talk, you can do so by supporting the sponsors who sponsor the show because they help us out a whole lot. Today is manscaped.com. If you enter HMT at checkout for any one of manscaped.com's products, you get 20% off your entire order and free shipping. And of course, Manscaped specializes in below the waist grooming for men. So you got to trim up you got to keep your bush, your dick and balls, your twig and berries, your mistletoe. You got to gussy it up for your little lady or man, whoever you're trying to get your dick seen by. You need to use manscaped.com to gussy it up. So, and they also have I really like the, it's like ball deodorizer. It's like this lotion that you rub on your balls. It's like deodorant for your balls.
That's the toner. No, is that right? No, that's the crop preserver.
Right. Yeah, the crop preserver. I love it. And if you you can get them to set up a delivery schedule. So you just get some crop preserver every, 2 or 3 months to keep it coming, so to speak. And then I also like the body wash because it's got a real nice high class scent, manly scent to it. Anyway, and again, that code is HMT at checkout for manscaped.com. That gets you 20% off and free shipping on your entire order. Also supporting Horror Movie Talk is OK Drugs. Hey, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and it's not just because we've lowered all our standards. OK Drugs also lowered their prices for Horror Movie Talk listeners. So you can check in, chew up, and tune out with OK Drugs Peach Eatables, a perfectly calming remedy for those seeking a gentle easing of worry. Peach Eatables are vegan, THC-free, and made with broad-spectrum CBD to help you relax, and L-theanine to help you stay focused. I don't know what L-theanine is, but it works. So there you go. It'll keep you focused. When my wife experienced this yesterday, she smoked a little bit CBD, and then she was just cleaning the house for the rest of the day. And she was like a machine. She was laser focused on cleaning the house. And this morning she comes to me and she's like, "What was that all about?" I was like,
"That's the L-theanine, baby."
Yeah, exactly. So order your feel-good fix and use the promo code HORROR, that's HORROR, at clarityInCrazy.com to get 10% off your first order and find some clarity for yourself in the holiday season. Love me some CBD eatables.
Yeah, and really kind of their value proposition is that they're very affordable CBD eatables.
Yeah, that's
already.
Right.
So 10% off is even a better deal. So check them out at clarityandcrazy.com and use that code HORROR.
Yeah, so also, if you'd like to support us directly, you can do so by going to patreon.com/horrormovietalk. From there, you can find our Afterpod, which is a whole nother podcast that we've been recording for a long, long time. You can also do things like, if you sign up for one of the higher tier, I think the highest tier, you can vote on which movie on one movie for us to review each month. If you can also buy HMT merch at horrormovietalk.com/shop. We got shirts and stickers and stuff. And if you buy some of the stickers that were designed by Dustin Goebel, our hard fucking artist, some of that money will go to him to support him. And if you would like to support him, you can also do so by going to his Instagram at dgoebel00. That's at DGOEBEL00 on Instagram. And finally, if you would like to call into the show and leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 682-253-4468. Thanks again for listening, and let's get into spoilers. Spoilers. So just the first thing I'd like to say is I really like the aura of this movie. I think that's kind of what you were tapping into in your review.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's very Christmassy feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it taps into the Christmas feeling. In terms of the tone, it's got big gremlin energy. Like
right.
it's really trying to hit that sweet spot of kind of ridiculous, fun, and like impressive horror.
Michael Dougherty is good at that as a director. He like I'm not the hugest Trick or Treat fan, but man, does it ever tap into the
right
feel of Halloween.
Right.
And I think that's why he got such a big budget to do Krampus, because people recognize that, oh, this dude gets holiday themed horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie opens up with like a I love this opening.
Yeah.
It's like a slow-mo stampede of like horror of like Christmas.
It's like
greed.
the worst Black Friday stampede ever.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people just fighting over stuff, and
which is weird because it always shows it as like the store. I mean, I'm just saying in general, when you see these scenes, there's scenes like this in other movies of like hordes fighting over gifts in a store that's super dolled up for Christmas.
Yeah.
Really, this only happens on Black Friday, and they haven't really gone deep into the Christmas decorations yet.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Because I feel like when you're deep in December, when you're deep into December doing Christmas shopping, you just see a lot of like apathetic zombie faces, just like, what can I fucking buy for this person that I don't know that well? Like, there's not a lot of enthusiasm that I see.
Do you go Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
You do. You go in two places and pick things up.
I mean, now I do most of it online, but yeah, I am very guilty of doing like literal Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve kind of outings.
Bold move, man.
So I'll go through and just like
fits everything.
Just put my arms wide open and then just see what I scrape into the shopping cart kind of thing.
Looks like another blender for us. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, that does fit you pretty well. Yeah, a lot of you have very it's almost like procrastination is your creed.
Yeah, it's a thing.
You got to respect it.
Like, I think for me, like there will be gifts that I get excited about, and I'll buy those early.
Yeah.
Like the things that I'm like, yes, this is perfect. I'll get those out of the way like really quick. And then there will be like...
And then there's the rest. 2
other family members that I'm like, I don't even know. Like, when you're buying for like a 2-year-old, it's like, who cares? Like, they're not going to care. It's going to be...
Yeah,
you could put it...
you get them, they'll just be like,
it doesn't matter.
An apple, an avocado.
Yeah. And like, how many more unicorn things can you get for penny kind of thing?
Man, dude, what is it with girls and unicorns?
They're delightful.
It's like my whole house is covered in unicorns. Yeah, I got really lucky because Carrie she just takes care of all presents.
Yeah.
All the time. And I mean, the only thing that could be better than that is not having to buy any presents for anyone ever. I really just don't like the experience of that. And I do this super, like, I realize that it's just a man thing because other men do it to me where they're like, just don't buy me anything. And I'm like, yeah, right. No, same here. Don't buy me anything. And then I don't have to worry about you if you don't have to worry about me. It's like
that's where my siblings are at now, like with each other.
I've been that way with my brother since we were 9.
Yeah, we're pretty sentimental about gifts. Like, we never got each other anything for birthdays. But yeah, see, I still like getting Christmas gifts though. I like it because, like, hope springs eternal that they're going to get me something that I like. No. And it almost never happens. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I gave up on that. I buy myself the best presents. So we set it up early that the Christmas spirit in this town is lacking. And then we get a little sniff of let's see here. So, oh boy, what's the name of the dad in this? He's a very well-known actor. Adam Scott plays Tom, the dad, and his mother is German, which is for some reason, I guess for the reason being, isn't Santa Claus kind of a German myth originating in Germany? I think it's kind of Bavarian-esque.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Krampus is definitely German, though.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very German kind of thing. And then Toni Collette is the mother, and her sister's family shows up, and her brother-in-law is basically cousin Eddie Johnson from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and he's played by David Koechner. Mm-hmm. And David Koechner plays in this the very standard David Koechner role from The Office or from what's the movie Anchorman. Yeah David Koechner, it's basically it's relatively the same character, but it's just depends on how much gain he puts on it. It's like how much volume he puts into That's
it.
That's a really good way to, how much gain he throws onto him.
Yeah. To where it's like, okay, when I think the broadest he is an Anchorman.
Right.
Like, that's the most ridiculous. And then the next most broad is The Office. And this is pretty restrained for him.
Yes.
Like, he's just an asshole. Like, it's not like, he's not a caricature. He's not like, hey, I'm Tex.
Right.
He's just like, an asshole.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, David Koechner right out the gate makes me just squeal. I'm like, yay! And he's playing his trademark character, and that's good enough for me. And his whole family's just a bunch of oafish dirtbags, and
it's very much like it's. The setup is basically, I mean, Toni Collette and Adam Scott's family isn't quite, but basically like a waspy family.
Right.
Real, like, upper middle class, like, well off.
They got the souffles cooking.
Lot of concern, for, hosting something good and putting on a good party. And then David Koechner's family is just full-on Trump voters.
Why aren't there... Whoa, not fair, not cool. Don't bring politics into this.
I'm not... I mean...
They do like hot dogs in their macaroni and cheese. And they're wondering where the hot dogs and macaroni and cheese are. Boy, if you get blowback for that, I will disavow every...
I'm just saying, they support gun rights. Like, that's traditionally a Trump voter thing, right? Isn't it?
No, I think.
Am I wrong?
I think you're stereotyping.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you're wrong. They do say what? No, Hammond. Oh, they also bring the dreaded Aunt Dorothy with them, and she's a real bitch.
Yeah.
And she at the dinner table says, "What? No ham at dinner? What are you, a Jew?"
Also, like, she's kind of like a typecast kind of actor. Like, she's definitely
Conchata Farrell.
She's the receptionist that's seen it all and like doesn't want to put up with your shit,
right?
And also like the aunt
will loudly call out anyone for anything in a very matter of fact and non-sugarcoating kind of way.
Right.
Yeah, so you have all the stereotypes here available in this movie. And we have little Max, who really the movie kind of circles around little Max.
Yeah.
He still believes in Santa. And at this dinner, at this Christmas Eve dinner, one of David Koechner's little nightmare girls gets a hold of Max's letter to Santa Claus and reads it out loud. And it's just like, oh, you still believe in Santa Claus? But my favorite part of this letter is at the end of it. He's like, oh, and, I really hope that you take care of, what's his name? Howard's family. Howard's the uncle, David Koechner, because I don't know, they're not doing so good. And as they're, actively doing this douchey thing and reading it out loud, they're like, hey, you dick. like, how dare you say these nice things, empathetic things about my family that are true, but I'm embarrassed that they're true. And that's the moment that snaps, that makes Max snap, because at that moment he kind of loses faith in Christmas. And it is at this moment that this crazy, massive blizzard-like storm comes in.
Instantly, like frostbite blizzard.
And German Nana gives the knowing, like, shit's getting real look. And she's kind of the prophetic figure in this movie.
Right.
German Nana, who only speaks German. And, in the start of this movie. And, so at this point, Max's sister goes out for a walk and she sees Krampus. And he like leaps from house
rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit, this dude's like, he's basically the Hulk.
Yeah, one of the things that this movie does great is they slow play the Krampus reveal.
Right,
they do a real good job of showing him in silhouette in only glances for 90% of the movie,
and it's a spectacular silhouette. Like, you can't get a better looking bad guy. I think Krampus may be the best fucking looking bad guy.
Yeah, like, and the other thing that happens with movies like this, to where it's like they're just showing glimpses of it, of like this character, and you see like silhouettes or flashes of it, and sometimes it's like if you actually show it, it ruins it, because there's nothing, like, your mind is filling in the rest. So even like fantastic creature design like Alien, the one time that they really show it like face on,
it's goofy.
The jazz hands part is like, oh my god, that's just like, you ruined it.
Right.
It's better like just seeing the head kind of prowl across the screen kind of thing.
Very quickly.
This is the exception.
Yeah.
Like, it looks fantastic in flashes and in silhouette, and then the reveal is like, this looks so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And so great that it delivers on the setup so well, because throughout the whole movie, Krampus is like really animalistic.
Right.
It's just these like growling and snorting sound. He's got hooves. He's got big old horns and stuff. And so it's very much like a old god feel.
Right. Wow.
And then the reveal is...
You're making me excited for this movie again.
Yeah. The reveal is it's basically the most evil version of Santa's face with the horns and like the hooves. And
it's as though Santa has been buried in a casket dead for 6 months. And is kind of like mummified and has no lips left.
Yeah.
It's just like a skull, like with some really dry skin over it.
And it can show it just in close up, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it really
just
does.
looks so good. And there's no point where it's like, okay, well, that's kind of lame. And I'm assuming it's all practical, right? I don't think any of that is digital.
That's a really good question.
Either way, it just looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks, especially considering it's 5 years old, as we speak, this is just the tail end of 2020, and this was released at the tail end of 2015. If it is computer generated, it's really good looking.
Yeah.
It's a really good point. The creature design in this is flawless.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of goofiness with the gingerbread men are clearly CGI and, they're goofy, but they're supposed to be. Yeah. So it kind of falls in line.
They're basically the gremlin stand-in.
Right.
They're small, they're mischievous, and they'll kill you.
Yeah, which brings us to kind of a general point in this movie. The vast majority of this movie is spent fighting off Krampus's helpers.
Right.
Which range, right? There's gingerbread men, and they're goofy, fun, crazy, gonna chase you with a knife, kind of hee kind of guys.
And then there's the Jack in the Box.
There's the Jack in the Box.
Which ends up being this, the spring part of his body is like this weird
snake, sort of worm,
larva, what's it called?
Caterpillar?
Either like a caterpillar larva or like a big old thick grub body. Topped with like the Jack in the Box head, but then is also kind of
his mouth expands into this big fucking predator mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, at the bottom is like the actual box,
right.
that makes it look like there's no possible way he could fit back into.
Right. This tiny little box.
And then there's, the gingerbread men. And then there's the
harpy sort of Christmas topper.
Right.
That's
flying around, kind of like a deformed angel bat.
It's like an owl angel kind of thing.
And then finally the elves come in, which is just kind of like a no holds barred kind of creepy old elf face things.
Right. But then also there's bad guys that exclusively live outside in the snow. Like there's that tunneler thing. Which I'm not super.
Well, I'm not so certain. Was that the Jack in the Box too? I couldn't tell if that was a separate thing or not.
I don't know either. But it was never explicitly explained. But it was something that tunneled through the snow, and I should mention. So things start slowly ramping up, right?
Yeah.
They look outside. There's this storm, and they notice, hey, there's a fucking snowman outside.
Yeah. Max is like, guys, something weird's going on. There's a snowman outside. And they're like,
okay.
Right. All right, bud. But yeah, they are pretty creepy looking snowmen. And kind of like a mob of them.
They show up slowly. They accumulate.
Which really reminds me of that episode of The Office. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No.
It's probably the only episode of The Office where Dwight gets the upper hand on Jim in the end.
Oh, I vaguely remember this.
Because it's great how they do it, because they frame it in a way that Jim actually does kind of seem like a dick in it, and he's kind of tempting fate and deserving it. Because what happens is Jim looks outside and it's starting to snow, and Dwight starts making fun of him. It's like, that's not snow. That's barely a dusting. Oh, is it Christmas Day with the new snow? And Jim's like, okay. Right. And then he goes outside and gathers up enough snow to make a snowball.
Right.
And goes back inside and hits Dwight right in the face with a snowball. And indignant, Dwight stands up and he's like, apologize for that right now. That was uncalled for. And Jim's like,
yeah, does this little shitty Jim thing.
Yeah, he looks into the camera and smirk. It's I don't have to apologize.
I'm Jim.
Everyone loves me. I'm Jim. I'm not a dick.
Yeah.
For throwing a snowball in my coworker's face.
Can you imagine how livid you would be? I
would instantly go into blows, in my mind at least.
I would light them on fire.
And then Dwight proceeds to terrorize Jim with snowballs, and it's so great because Jim's never safe, and by the end of the episode he's got PTSD and him and Pam leave the office, and the entire parking lot is covered with snowmen.
Oh yeah,
just like in Krampus, and Jim is like frightened.
Yeah, he's like, which one is? Whoa!
He's like, and Pam's like, "Come on, it's gonna be okay." He's like, okay. And he starts walking through, and he's like juking and jiving. He's like jumping at every like snowman, and then he starts like hitting him with his bag. He's like, "Run, Pam, run!" And then it just pans back to show Dwight on the roof, just watching it all.
Yeah,
he's like,
"I got him." What a great moment of triumph.
Sometimes the best snowball is no snowball at all, basically.
Speaking of great shows, I kept begging you to watch Schitt's Creek, and it sounds like you've started. How do you like it?
Yeah, I think I'm on the last season on Netflix. I don't know if there's one more that's not on Netflix or not.
No. This is the final season. It's done after that.
That's a real bummer.
I know.
There's not another season.
But they went out really on top.
Did they?
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, it's really great.
The writing is so spectacular, and the casting. Oh my god! Like Alexa is, first of all, you would not expect a woman as gorgeous as Alexa to be so comedically perfect at delivering like these thrashers of lines, but she's got everything.
Yeah, I think you set it up as like being great writing. I think what I would point out is the cast is fantastic. Like the real great part of it is the cast that they.
I say that
you could probably put them into anything.
Yeah, no, for sure. I want to clarify something. I said very offhandedly, you would not expect a woman that looks as pretty as her, but to be so comedically timed. But it's hard to name the ones for me that are totally gorgeous and also really, really have that comedic timing down.
Right. But yeah, it is great. I think I was expecting more when I started. It's basically, I mean, it's a pretty straight ahead sitcom.
Yeah.
In terms of like, we're going to do a setup at the beginning of the episode and deliver on it by the end of the episode, basically. Yeah. But then there is a longer through line of the family. I think it took me a while to get into it in the first season, but by the middle of the first season or by the second season, when they start like growing, and it's not the same thing where it's like, we're fish out of water, like this sucks, let's get the fuck out of here. It starts turning into like them resigning to this is our life now, and then it gets really interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a warm feel. It's like,
it's very like wholesome.
Yeah,
surprisingly wholesome. Like that, the relationship between David and Ted
and his husband.
not Ted, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick.
It's like one of the most wholesome like gay couples ever.
Yeah, and it's handled very offhandedly.
Right.
It's a big show in the gay community. I think, just because of how it handles those relationships.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's just one of the best fucking shows ever.
Because it's not like...
And gay people have good taste generally. So.
Yeah, it's not like, we're gay and we're getting married. It's like, that still goes on in like pop culture, and that's so like...
It's pandering.
Early 2000s, like Will and Grace kind of stuff. You're like, okay.
It's anytime you pander, it's fucking weird because you're pandering. Anyway, so Krampus. We have to do that at least once an episode.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, there's just a bunch of cool imagery in this as well. So first of all, we named all those baddies, and they're just very well designed. But there's a lot of concepts and imagery that are cool. Well, specifically, what I'm thinking of right now is the hook that comes down the chimney,
right?
And it's got attached to it like a little morsel of deliciousness for the fat kid. You know? It's like that hook is so fucking big and menacing, and it's like. I appreciate the effort that went into a lot of the design for all the imagery in this. The neighborhood appears to have been completely gutted, torn apart. When they do venture out into it, first of all, it's harrowing. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to move around, and it's almost total whiteout.
Yeah, and David Koechner's character, like, when they get back, is like, we were out there for 4 minutes, and I'm basically getting frostbite.
Right.
It's like an insane storm.
Right. And every house they go into is...
It's like post-apocalyptic.
Yes, it's very gutted. So the grandma at this point tells her story. I mean, a lot of shit has happened at this point. Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? The grandma tells her story, the German grandma, of being the last little girl left from when her village was attacked by Krampus, and it just so happens that she was the Max character in her story. You know, she was the last one to have any faith in Christmas and or Christmas spirit, and Krampus left her as a reminder for, you know,
you better watch out, bitch.
Yeah, you better watch out. And that's done in kind of a cool little vignette of, like, it's almost claymation CGI.
Yeah, it's a really cool art style that goes off. I mean, man, again, the production design and the art in this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think this movie gets enough love in the vein that Trick or Treat does, but I think it did Christmas better than Trick or Treat did Halloween, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't know.
No?
Yeah, I think... I mean, so this is specifically around this one myth. Not so much as, like, it doesn't delve into all the nuances of Christmas and holidays with family. It does a really good job of it, but I think Trick or Treat hit on a lot of areas that most other Halloween set movies don't. Just like the real feel of trick-or-treating as a young person, and yeah, I feel like it captured the tone a little better.
Okay, well, that's fair.
But
I just at this, well, and then, you know, you have, of course, David Koechner's character has tons of guns, and he wings them around with just reckless abandon. He's just like, you know, like just really pointing them at everybody, and I hate that shit. I hate it when I see people pointing guns at other people, and so
unless we remember the what is it, the 7-gun salute or whatever?
Yeah, my grandfather's funeral. So retarded, dude. Retired it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, don't. You just never point a gun at somebody. Oh, it had blanks. I'll give a shit if it had blanks in it. Have you heard of Brandon Lee? Anyway, so, one other notable thing about this movie. So 2015 is when this movie is released. Hereditary is released in 2018, both starring Toni Collette. And in, spoilers for Hereditary, in this movie,
right, yeah,
this is the pre-Hereditary hanging Toni Collette by the rafters of the attic movie. Blew me away when I saw it. I was like, oh no. Is it Ari Aster? Mm-hmm. Did Ari Aster do a head nod to Krampus? Or do you think on the set of Hereditary, do you think Toni Collette was like, I remember just 3 years ago I was hung from the rafters in Krampus, and everybody kind of looked at her and went, realizing full well that they were creating a massive masterpiece. So, yeah, basically, I mean, this is essentially an action horror movie. There's just a lot
especially
of
at the
action.
end, yeah.
And so at the end, anybody who's remaining is picked off in the run to the snowplow. They're trying to get there, and Max is the only one who makes it. And
we find out that Max was never really a target, though.
I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm missing it. I might have been falling asleep at this point. Help me out.
Because the whole purpose of this is that he wished, basically, for his family to disappear or something. It's basically based around his wish.
That's right.
For Christmas, of the letter he wrote to Santa. And after all the rest of the family's picked off, Krampus shows up and like hands him this little bell or whatever that contains his Christmas letter. And he realized like, oh, I've done this. And then he like tries to go back on it. He's like, give me back my family kind of thing.
Yeah, he unwishes it.
Yeah. And then it doesn't matter.
Boy, am I glad you're here. Just totally fucking messed that one up. So Krampus stops him in the joke, and he wakes up to Christmas. So it's kind of a very dead end kind of ending.
It's a pretty great ending where they all kind of like fall into the pit of hell,
right?
Pretty much, you know. And there's the great moment where Max is like, I go back, like I don't want this, like all this stuff, and then Krampus with his just gnarly face just starts laughing.
Right.
And all the helpers are laughing too. And it's just such a great nefarious moment of just pure evil.
Evil laugh. Evil laugh. Evil laugh. I think that's from
the Muppets.
The Muppets.
The newest, the Muppets.
Oh yeah.
And then he wakes up and it's Christmas Day and everyone's like just open presents and everyone's like their best self. They're living their best life. Everyone's got makeup and looks pleasant, even the ugly Americans. And then he finds the bell again, and then all of a sudden, like, there's kind of the audio of all the horrific screaming and stuff. And then you see it cross everyone's mind of everyone starting to remember, like, wait a minute, some horrible shit just really happened, and we're like thrown down to hell. And you realize, like, oh,
then
they're...
it starts zooming out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's revealed that they're in a snow globe.
Yeah.
In
a room full of snow globes.
Right. Presumably Krampus' snow globe collection, which everybody knows that Krampus is a huge collector of snow globes.
Right.
So it all tends to make sense. So my final recommendation for Krampus, if you have family over and want to watch something very Christmassy, but also horror-ish, Krampus is definitely your jam. Keep your Christmas spirits up to keep him out of your face. What do you think for this one?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a Christmas horror movie, like, this is top 3. I mean, it could... I think for me, it'd go Silent Night, Deadly Night, then Krampus, and then, I don't know.
Gremlins.
I don't know.
No, you don't know?
I can't think of...
It's so weird.
We've reviewed so many now that it's like they all kind of run together.
There's so many Christmas horror movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there may be more Christmas horror movies than there are Halloween horror movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is weird. I mean, maybe...
Because Christmas is like the biggest holiday.
That's true.
Probably in the world.
Yeah, oh yeah, probably. I would, yeah, definitely.
I mean, even like Muslim holidays are probably like the close second, but I don't think they're as widely celebrated as Christmas.
In terms of commercial holidays,
yeah,
it makes sense that Christmas is the biggest one, also for movies, right? Because Christmas is now a commercial holiday, and who makes the best commercials? Movies.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, so definitely check out Krampus. I watched it on Amazon. Where'd you watch it?
Yeah, I think I landed on Amazon. I tried to watch it on Redbox. It was only $2 on Redbox, but I couldn't get it to work on my TV because I couldn't remember my login.
So, without any further ado, let's play our new game, Christmas Wish List by Country Living. So, this is a new game. I thought it up all by myself. I'm very excited for this because, Bryce, I went to countryliving.com and looked at their list of fun games to play at Christmas. All right. So, and this list was all, of course, it was ranked. So you got number 1, number 2, number 3, the funnest games to play at Christmas. So here's a list in no particular order. And you, Bryce, must guess which game is the best Christmas game in the correct order. So this will be fun. This will be fun because our listeners will, they're probably going to want to have, ideas for games to play at Christmas. And, normally we're real kind of raunchy and stuff. And we don't do a lot. We just try to entertain instead of like add too much in the way of like useful tips and tricks or, fun games for them to play at Christmas. So this is a way for us to not just play a fun game on the podcast, but also, really help them figure out what they can play at their Christmas get together. No doubt it will be a COVID get together, so a small one. So I'm going to read these in no particular order. And then once I'm done reading them, I'm going to ask you to rank them and give a reason for your ranking. And if you need clarification on what games are, don't worry. I have the definitions for these games right here. So here we go. In no particular order. You got Snowman Bingo. Okay. Christmas Would You Rather. Wow. We also have White Elephant.
Donner or Blitzen? Which one would you fuck?
Hey, this is a wholesome segment.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was Would You Rather.
So you have Snowman Bingo, Christmas Would You Rather, White Elephant, which is a little racist, Jingle Bell Toss, Snowman Bowling. That's the second snowman themed game on here. You also have Christmas Songs Pictionary. You look so uncomfortable. What's the matter?
It's just such a retarded list.
Whoa, what? This is from countryliving.com.
Exactly.
What are you doing? Are you trying to subvert my... I worked real hard on this game.
Okay, proceed.
Naughty or Nice Christmas game. Christmas Mad Libs, that one's going to be fun. Christmas Guess Who game. And finally, not number 10. This is no particular order. Finally, Lump of Coal Christmas Plastic Wrap game. Now, do you need clarification on any of those?
I think I need clarification on all of them except White Elephant. I assume that's White Elephant Gift Exchange, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Christmas Songs Pictionary, that's self-explanatory.
I think you probably know what Christmas Mad Libs is.
Yeah. Let's go down the list.
You want to rank number 10 first or number 1 first? Which one do you want to...
Well, I need to hear the explanation for what these games are.
Okay.
So tell me what Snowman Bingo is.
Okay, Snowman Bingo. The best part about this cute snow... this is... you actually make a bingo card, right? And then you populate it with Christmas items. Snowflakes and top hats and, like earmuffs and Christmas trees. And then you throw all those pictures not only on the card, but, into the bingo thing. And then you call out and then the first person to get, and then don't forget the middle square. That's the free square. So don't forget about that. But, so that's Christmas Bingo or Snowman Bingo, I should say. And it's not Christmas Bingo. I should say it's just snowman oriented things. So just the things that you would use to create a snowman.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
My apologies.
All right. So what's Christmas Would You Rather?
Yeah, that is that's a fun game of Would You Rather with your family. And you find out what each person sides with in these Christmas themed hypotheticals. So you ask hypothetical questions, you put a bunch of hypothetical questions into a jar, and then you pull them out and you ask, would you rather this or that?
Okay.
Hey, what did
Jingle Bell Toss?
Oh yeah. So Jingle Bell Toss, funny you should ask about Jingle Bell Toss. This is a really unique one. Okay. So, you know those little solo cups? You know how they make little mini solo cups? Little shot glass cups? Well, the mini red cups and tiny jingle bells make this toss game perfect for little hands.
Okay, so it's basically beer pong with jingle bells.
Right, but no beer. Instead, it's just straight liquor.
Eggnog.
Right, straight liquor and little kids.
Right.
No, I'm joking. We would never advocate underage drinking.
Okay, Snowman Bowling.
Yeah, so Snowman Bowling is putting together a tissue box. So you take tissue boxes and you make a snowman out of it with a little crafty little snowman.
Okay.
And you put him together, and then it's just one, and you stack them up, right? So you stack these boxes up. So it's like a vertical bowling game, and then you try and knock him down with let's see here.
So you always aim at the bottom.
well, this is for little kids sometimes. You know, not all of these games are for adults like you who could master snowman bowling in just a single toss.
All right, what's Naughty or Nice Christmas game?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Naughty or Nice Christmas game is each player takes a turn to find out if they've been naughty or nice this year, with plenty of candy prizes, of course. So basically, I'm not too sure what this game is exactly, because it's not super descriptive in the description of it. But it is, if you click the link in countryliving.com's list, it'll bring you to this. I'm assuming this is like bearing your soul to the Catholic preacher guy, or the bishop guy who's like, what have you jerked off today? But don't ask that question because it's Christmas. So of course, ask some sort of Christmas themed question about whether they've been naughty or nice or something like that.
Okay. Christmas Guess Who game?
Oh yeah, of course. So this family favorite, I'm just going to read this directly off the site. This family favorite memory game is perfect for holiday adaptations. Simply make cards with holiday related questions, like who has seen a reindeer in real life, or who has celebrated the most Christmases, and hand them out, or let guests pick a card throughout the party. Once they've been solved, hang them from a Christmas themed picture string for a festive holiday memory. So on this one, you can even make a fun ornament out of it. Kind of. You can kind of string it up like you would string popcorn onto.
Okay, my brain is shutting down. Lump of coal Christmas plastic wrap game.
Okay, so I understand why you would ask about that one. This is the classic. The classic plastic wrap game gets a Christmassy upgrade with the addition of coal cards that have absurd instructions. It's bound to get everyone laughing. I have no idea
what's the plastic wrap game.
It's a classic. It's a plastic wrap game.
What does it have to do with cards? And what are you wrapping? I'm so confused.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
I can see a world in which my mom would want to play all of these games with us as a family, as a thing.
Yeah.
And I see no world in which we would.
Oh, why?
Just because I'd just be like, wow, that sounds...
Mom, get out of here. It was so gay.
Really arbitrary and unfun. It's like...
Oh, that's... Poor Mom.
I don't like having fun. I don't actually believe in fun.
Wow.
I don't think there's such a thing.
Was your entire school gay, or was it just the baseball team?
I think it's like we're all assuming that other people are having fun. I'm like, okay, I'll go through this lame Christmas game that's like I would rather not be doing. But I mean, everyone's having fun. No one's having fun.
Yeah,
no one's having fun playing.
Instead of fun, Bryce would rather...
You've had dick cheese before, right, Brad?
He'd rather have dick cheese.
So I'm supposed to rank these?
Yeah, so which one do you think is number one?
Number one for me?
No, on the list.
On the list.
Countryliving.com.
Okay, I gotta channel a middle-aged woman.
Whoa, there's all kinds of people who would enjoy these games, especially Horror Movie Talk listeners.
I'm going to say... okay, so I gotta think. The actual funnest one can't be number one. It's got to be the one that involves the most effort for the person setting up the game. And that would be...
Which is the actual funnest one, in your opinion?
I would probably do Christmas Songs Pictionary.
Okay. Yeah.
Because just Pictionary. Pictionary is fun.
Pictionary is fun.
I'm going to say... No, it can't be that one. I'm going to say Lump of Coal Christmas Plastic Wrap Game.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Actually, number one was, get this, Christmas Guess Who game.
Man, that was the other one I was going to do.
Ah, darn.
Because I thought, okay, whoever set this up's got to make a bunch of pictures or a bunch of, notes and stuff. And, moms love doing that. I want to expend the maximum amount of effort for the least amount of enjoyment.
Right.
All right.
That's how you and I would think.
Yeah. So that okay. So
number 2. Which
guess who is number 1? Number 2. I'm going to say Snowman Bingo.
Oh man, you didn't get that one either. I'm so sorry. That's Christmas Mad Libs.
That's number 2.
2.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What's number 3?
Okay, this one has to be Snowman Bingo.
Wow! What the? Wow. Merry Christmas to you.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Bryce. Bravo. Number 4.
Number 4. Okay, this one should be the Lump of Coal Christmas Wrap game.
Ooh,
no?
Sorry, Bryce. You're getting a lump of coal in your stocking because the actual answer was Naughty or Nice Christmas Game, which we still aren't very clear on what that is exactly. But yeah, I'm sure if you go to countryliving.com and look at their Christmas list, then you'll figure it out. Okay. They released this article in August, by the way. This August. Really beating that rush. Number 5, what would you say?
So we got Snowman Bingo, we got Christmas Guess Who, Mad Libs,
and Naughty or Nice.
Naughty or Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, man. Oh, man, I looked over a White Elephant, didn't I?
That would have been my guess for number 1. Everybody plays White Elephant, don't they?
Okay, it's a tie between Lump of Coal Christmas Plastic Wrap Game and White Elephant.
Okay, commit.
Because both of those seem like they are a lot of effort.
Uh-huh. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas to all you Horror Movie Talk listeners.
All right, I'm going to go Lump of Coal again.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. Is it White Elephant?
No.
Okay.
No, it's actually Christmas Would You Rather, which can actually, if you caught our November 2nd Saturday Netflix party, you would have watched Would You Rather with us. And as we know from that movie, things can get pretty crazy if you play a game of Would You Rather. So, number 6. Let's move on.
Man. Okay, I'm gonna be really mad if it's Lump of Coal. I'm gonna say White Elephant.
I'm sorry, Bryce. It was actually Christmas Songs Pictionary.
Oh man!
You're now 1 for 6, so you're gonna have to increase your merriness quotient quite a bit for number 7.
Jingle Bell Toss.
Ooh, I'm
God
sorry,
damn it.
Bryce. Boy, that was actually White Elephant. White Elephant was what we were looking for. Number
8, 9, 10. Okay,
8.
so I'm just gonna say all 3
okay.
in my last 3 order.
Right.
I'm gonna go. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a real Sophie's choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Jingle Bell Toss, Lump of Coal, Snowman Bowling.
Oh, jeez, man. Jeez. Oh, boy.
Jesus, Lord, do you have to suck on it like that?
Bryce, that was none of those were right.
Oh,
May God
damn.
have mercy on your soul. Lump of Coal Christmas Plastic Wrap Game was number 8. Snowman Bowling was number 9, and Jingle Bell Toss was number 10. So there you have it. Factual evidence for which Christmas game is the most fun and which is the number 10 most fun. All of which are very fun, but now you have the order, and you can play this at your Christmas, which I'm sure lots of our listeners will. Let us know how you liked the Christmas Wish List by Country Living game, and maybe it can return for like January. We'll see. And you can do so. You can let us know how you liked it by calling 682-253-4468. Leave us a voicemail. You get to hear the dulcet tones of Bryce Hanson leaving you a little message on that voicemail line. So, without any further ado, thank you, and Merry Christmas to all for listening to Horror Movie Talk. Make sure to share the podcast with a friend. That really helps us out a whole bunch. Check out all our social media. You can do so by visiting our website at horrormovietalk.com, and from there you have links to all of our social media. If you'd like to support the show, of course, support manscaped.com and OK Drugs. Get yourself some of that CBD shit, put it in your mouth, eat it, and then lay back, relax.
And then shave your balls.
Consider becoming a patron, supporting the show monetarily. We sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Merpy Missmas, and we love you.
Bye-bye.
Looking for a podcast full of burps and gas, perverted cast, skinny and fat? Look no further. Horror Movie Talk is accidentally funny, begs to donate money, fake sponsors for dummies, and so much more. New episodes every hump day. They'll pickle your dickle for foreplay. Patreon members have it your way. Vote for a movie every month for the review. Choppa choppa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Drain addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner Robinson. Kiss Bryce Hansen. Look at them hot kids, Chris Henson. Masturbate with a crucifix, exorcist. Face huggers, chest bursters, alien. Linda Blair peed on Sigourney Weaver. I know it's true cause it came from social media. Patrick Bateman can't understand you. Stab you to death for rotten apple reviews. Opinionated podcaster with a doctorate. Spookology, doctor of philosophy. Bad gastritis, need colostomy. Turn Patreons into human centipedes. David Doobie Day, scare him, no expert. And Goble fucks hard, professional sexpert. Afterpods, taglines, and porno flicks. American Psycho, them guys pretty sick. Choppa choppa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Train addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner Robinson. Nothing good happens in the woods. Always get more than you bargain for. Got a pickle to dickle, machines tickle bitties. Killer on the phone, ain't no Sharon Stone. Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and organs. Corona, COVID, curse, Lorona. Green River Killer, because reasons. Hallway of poop monster kids screaming. Ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30-day shutter and jump scares ain't fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use their white socks to catch their loads. Just show them one titty, pretty. Paganism you should worship, they Teflon dicks. Pacific Northwest, let them see one breast. Shifty ass, stay spooky, poor man's digress. Bugsy, HMT, Horror Movie Talk. Hold on, they don't like Halloween. Fuck them.